Have you ever felt like you've been waiting forever for a promise to come true? You know it's coming, you believe in it, but the waiting part is just hard. Well, today we re-diving into a story about one of the longest waits in history finally coming to an end. We're in 2 Samuel chapters 5 and 6. So let's set the scene. After years of running, hiding, and fighting, David is finally recognized as king over all of Israel. It's a huge moment. All the tribes come to him and say, "We are your own flesh and blood. You're the one who led us, and the Lord said you would be our shepherd." Imagine the relief and joy David must have felt. The promise God made to him as a young boy is finally here. His first major act as king of the United Nations. He conquers Jerusalem, a fortress city that seemed impossible to take, and he renames it the City of David. This isn't just a military victory, it's a statement. God's chosen king is establishing God's chosen city, but David knows something is missing. The kingdom feels incomplete without the most important thing, God's presence at the very heart of it. The Ark of the Covenant, the symbol of God's throne on earth, has been sitting in a private house for decades. David decides it's time to bring it home to Jerusalem. This is where things get really interesting. David gathers 30,000 of Israel's best men. It's a massive celebration. There's music, singing, a huge procession. It's a national party. They place the ark on a brand new cart, and everyone is ecstatic. But then, tragedy strikes. The oxen stumble, and a man named Uzzah reaches out to steady the ark so it doesn't fall. Instantly, he dies. The party comes to a screeching halt. The music stops. The cheering fades. David is stunned and frankly a little angry and afraid of God. He thinks, how can I possibly bring the ark to be with me? He aborts the mission and leaves the ark at the house of a man named Obed-Edom. He just can't face it. Have you ever been there? You're moving forward with passion. You think you're doing something great for God, and then bam, you hit a wall. A failure, a setback, a tragedy. It makes you question everything. Did I hear God wrong? Is this even worth it? It can be so discouraging. But the story doesn't end there. For 3 months, the ark stays with Obed-Edom. And guess what happens? The Bible says the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and his entire household. Word gets back to David, and a light bulb goes on. He realizes his mistake. The issue wasn't God's presence, it was how he approached God's presence. He had treated this holy object with casual familiarity instead of sacred reverence. He did it his way, with a new cart, instead of God's way, which was for the Levites to carry it on poles. So, David tries again. But this time, he does it right. He sanctifies the priests, they carry the ark properly, and every 6 steps, they stop to offer sacrifices. The celebration is back on, but this time it's different. It's not just a party, it's an act of worship. And David himself is leading the way, dancing before the Lord with all his might, stripped of his royal robes and wearing a simple linen garment. He is completely, unashamedly joyful in the presence of God. This story teaches us so much. First, our good intentions aren't enough. We have to approach God on His terms, with reverence and obedience. Second, failure isn't final. David's first attempt was a disaster, but he learned from it and tried again. Our setbacks can become setups for a greater understanding of who God is. And finally, look at David's worship. He didn't care what anyone thought. He was a king, but before God, he was just a joyful servant. His heart was overflowing. Bringing God's presence to the center of our lives, our homes, our cities, should be our greatest priority. And when we do it His way, with a humble and joyful heart, the blessings will follow. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this story encouraged you. If it did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. See you next time.